Here we go, radio people, America, and Grabowski in the house. Guess what we got? A raging maniac. Al, are you a raging lib or a raging Republican back there?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Bring it, America. Kevin Heller is a political nut, and I love him for it. I had an epiphany today.
Oh, dear.
Listen, I got to tell a quick story. So first of all, I got a joke. Here we go, Kevin. You ready for this joke? Tony was very excited. He had landed his first professional sales role. On his first day, the company manager said, hey, what's going on? He says, I want to give you your very first lesson in sales. He says, I'll do anything. And the boss says, stand on the edge of the roof. And he says, reluctantly to the new salesman, move closer to the edge of the roof. And the manager says, now the sales manager says, jump. You got to jump off that roof. And he says, but sir, this doesn't make sense. It's a huge drop. And he says, do you want to succeed in sales? And the guy says, yes, I do. He says, then you need to jump. And Tony said, and you trust me, don't you? And the manager said, and you trust me, don't you? And Tony said, the salesman said, yes, I do. So he jumped. He crashed on the ground, laid there winded and bruised, and the sales manager went racing over to him down the stairs from him. He says, that was your first lessons, Tony. Never trust anyone in business. Booyah!
Booyah!
That's
There you
one
go.
hard lesson.
There we go. I got one for you.
Oh, bring it.
What do you call two salesmen who are driving their car off a cliff? Todd? Sprinkles?
No, I got nothing.
Got nothing.
An absolute tragedy. At least 3 more people could have fit in that car.
Oh, Robert.
Bada bing, baby!
Oh, I got a noise.
Bada bing! I'm on a roll. I am so on a roll. Oh,
Dear,
man.
those again.
I'm a
Dang it.
salesman. Kevin's a salesman. So anyways, Kevin, I know we have lots to talk about. I got to tell you about this epiphany I had, and you're going to like this because we're on Facebook having fun every now and then. And so I go to Detroit twice a month. And I've had a driver. He picks me up and takes me to my car, and he takes me to appointments and things of that nature for years. And his name is Sammy, right? And so Sammy is driving around one day and with me, and I'm like, Sammy, how you doing? He's telling me this whole story about being an Iraqi soldier, and he was in the war, and I'm just flattered by all the things he tells me about all these things. And it just finally hit me after 2.5 years. I said, Sammy, are you a Muslim? And he says, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm a Muslim. I said, Sammy, I never knew you were a Muslim. I don't like Muslims. And he says to me, what do you mean you don't like Muslims? I mean, I really like Muslim. I don't understand Muslims. And we kind of had this banter about it and everything. And I was really kind of awkward with the whole thing. And I said to him, Kevin, Sammy, are you a Shiite or a Sunni? He says, that's what I want to talk to you about, Todd. He says, I'm a Shiite. And I said, is that the good one or the bad one? And he said, that's the good one. And so now I said, I'm glad that's a good one because I don't want to lose my driver. So there's a moral to this story, and I want to talk about it because I want to tell one more story about this. So the other night, I'm on the phone with one of my dearest friends. I don't have best friends, you've realized. It's too much trouble to have best friends and call.
I thought.
No.
Sorry, Sprinkles.
My wife is.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kevin, you're up there, buddy. But my wife is probably going to have to fill that role the rest of my life, and I'd love her for it. But I said to my best friend, I said, where are you at on gun control? And because I was vetting him out, and he says, I believe everyone should have a gun, but we should clamp down on who has them. And we go through all these things, and lo and behold, it's my good friend Robert on the phone, and we're preparing for the show. And I went on abortion and where he's at on abortion. I took him through the gauntlet, and I finally said, Robert, I've been with you for 7 years now, and you're on my leaning right conservative radio show. And I just learned that one of my other good friends is a Shiite Muslim. And are you trying to tell me you're a Democrat?
You're welcome, Kevin. I knew you'd appreciate my stealth approach.
And I'm like, you know, and this is all on the heels of me getting my tail kicked on the Facebook last night. right? The Facebook. I said something on the Facebook, and I spoke my mind. Heavens forbid a Republican speaks his mind on the Facebook. You get called all kinds of names by the other side. But it's okay, because we're all thick-skinned, and this guy on the other side is my friend too, and I hope he stays my friend. But I had a weak moment, and I took butt kicking there, and so I'm sitting back, and I realized that, I possibly offended a left-leaning person, and I realized my other friend's a Shiite Muslim, and then at the end of the night, I realized, Kevin, that my dearest radio show host is a Democrat. And so I have to reflect on these things, and I have to learn. I think I'm learning my own lessons, Rachel. I never saw anything. I saw people. Mm-hmm. I saw a man driving a car and having a good time with me and working together. I saw a dear friend in a radio show saying things that went back and forth, and I never saw. I see Kevin Heller as an awesome salesman, and we have fun on the political side of things. And forgive me, Mr. Facebook person out there, that I went on a little insensitive rant to some degrees in your palate. So we're there. But America and people. Kevin Heller personifies this type of person. And I'm glad to have him in my life. I'm glad to have Robert Sherman, who did not vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Because then he tells me one other secret.
That's public now.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Well,
which is fine.
But
It's fine.
Yeah.
I voted for Eric.
He didn't vote for either, and he makes me even feel worse than my wife with that convicting look. You didn't know this? He says to me...
I've seen that look from her before, too.
Yeah, he says to me,
it
Kevin...
cuts right through you.
Kevin, he says to me, well, I'm a Canadian. And I'm like, drop the mic. I got a Muslim, I got a Canadian, I got a Shiite, I got a Kevin Heller, I got Bill Clinton doing profanity on my show. This is a wreck.
It's a wreck.
Kevin, tell us about...
It's a wreck.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, you're legal, right? I
I'm
never
legal.
asked you that question.
Got a green card. Hey, I'm legal. Good. Yes, I absolutely am.
I don't know how that works, but anyway, save the show, Kevin Heller. Tell us about extremity consulting. I need the counseling.
That was definitely
I'm a
Freudian.
mess.
Yeah.
I'm a mess, but save me, Kevin.
Definite Freudian slip.
Yeah, tell
definitely
us what you're doing for people. You got 3 minutes to tell us what you're doing and hawk your stuff, baby. Sell, baby, sell.
Well, Extremity Consulting is a company that I did in partnership with a company called 360 Solutions in Texas. My partner is a guy named Chip Wilson, who is, amazing. After all these years, I felt like I was able to find another mentor. It's a cruel joke that life plays on you. As you get older, you become a mentor. It makes it even more difficult to find one. And so this guy's absolutely brilliant. And what I really wanted was a lot of the content. Combine my content with that company's content. And what we do, essentially, in a nutshell, is we take companies and organizations from chaos to high perform. We do the assessments, teamwork, strategic direction, organizational management, and leadership. We do a lot of training. And the thing that I like the most about the leadership aspect of it is that a lot of times it's really difficult for the guy at the top or the guy who sees himself as being at the top. And we all know these guys. Sometimes they think they're overlooking. It's very difficult for them to accept that the guy who pushes the broom on the shop floor needs to be focused on trying to have all those same kind of leadership qualities that the guy at the top has. Because leadership drives ownership. And anytime you can have a company where everyone takes ownership, you cannot fail. You absolutely cannot fail.
Correct.
So that's my 30,000 foot.
30,000 feet. So how do we get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of me is extremityconsult.com. Just go to the website. You can find my phone number there. You can find my email there. Any questions, chat box. There's a video there. It's a really super flattering video, too. I think we shot it at about 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's your rocket launch.
Oh, you're looking good,
That's your rocket launch. We're about out of time. Ready? That's the rocket launch extremity
Kevin, thanks,
consultant,
man.
Thank you,
Kevin
Kevin.
Heller.
Good stuff
You're
there.
awesome. I wish I could have done you a better job on this, buddy. I
Kevin,
love you.
great job.
Hire Kevin. Hire him. See you next Saturday,
Every
everybody.
company needs a
Robert,
Kevin.
I love you.
Love you, man.